Hey, everybody. Welcome to Perpetual Motion, a podcast focused on self-care, communication, personal finance, and positive relationships. I'm your host, Dr. Mo Anderson. In today's episode, you're going to love this. We are chatting with my new friend, Natalie Bevans, a professional esthetician, about how to prevent premature aging with better skincare and the right diet. We all want to look great, right? Without the filter. So whether you are struggling with acne, rosacea, crepey skin, I don't even know what that is. She'll probably tell us, but I see it on the commercials and I think I have it. Natalie says you can look and feel better with a few simple changes to your lifestyle. Before we start, I need one quick favor from you folks. If you are new to the show or a returning visitor, you just keep coming back to me, let's go ahead and make this official. Please hit that subscribe button now. So let's go. Welcome, Natalie.
Thank you, Dr. Mo. I'm excited to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. I told you this is a subject everybody is hype about right now, finally, men and women. But let's start with your background. You look beautiful. You've got the glowing skin, so you're a model for what you're talking about. I want to give you kudos for that. But how did this journey start for you? Were you always interested in aesthetics and skincare?
Thank you. Actually, I wasn't. I have always been interested in the health and the body and how it all connects and stuff like that. But it wasn't until I was about in my 20s and my skin just started breaking out all over my face. And of course, not knowing much and having much background or knowledge about skin, to me, it was like, whoa, it just came overnight and what's going on. And so just through the search of trying to figure out what is going on, and I was trying everything and reading everything and doing everything they were saying and using all the products and just really, I think where a lot of women are, I was there and just kind of doing everything that everybody was telling me and nothing was working. And it was about this time that I learned about estheticians, like what are estheticians, right? And I was thinking, what is this? And it's 20 years ago, so it's not as common as it is now. And so I didn't even know what it was. And so looking into it, I was like, that's it. That's what I need to do. And I have just loved skin ever since. And I am just always kind of researching and learning and stuff. I just love how the skin connects to the body and how we can really create change on the skin and how we can understand it and fix these problems that we suffer with, that we just don't know what we're doing. And once we figure it out and things fall into place, we can kind of move forward and have that beautiful glowing skin that we're looking for.
Fantastic. You told me when we did the pre-call that we share something, and that I'm a dentist and you've been in the dental field previously. So you knew, about chemicals and materials and how different things impact the body. Was that helpful to you in doing your research about skincare and how to improve your own skin?
Yeah. So I was a dental assistant before I became an esthetician. And I think they have a lot of similarities because like your skin is a reflection of your body. Your mouth can also be a reflection of your body. And so your body is always trying to communicate to you. And so those are two ways that it really can say, hey, something's not right. You need to kind of balance back out, pay attention. And yeah, so they have a lot of connections for me personally. I feel like they really connect.
Absolutely. So overall, why is skincare so important?
Well, I think a lot of times we see skin as aesthetics, right? We want it to look good. And that's kind of as far as we think about it. But really, our skin starts from within. And our skin, if it's looking healthy and if it feels healthy, then that's giving you the sign that your skin is healthy. Like if you want that healthy glow, you have to have healthy skin. You can't cover it up with creams and makeups. You can't pretend that you have that beautiful, healthy skin and get that glow when you haven't treated your skin right and given it what it needs to be healthy. And so it's kind of a two-part. You've got to take care inside, but you've also got to take care on the outside as well. And that's how you get your healthy skin. And that will give you that glow that everybody's after.
And you make a good point too, because we can do so much with filters now and adjusting this and that. But at the end of the day, I do not want to frighten my neighbors when they see me without makeup. You know? And I've always felt there shouldn't be that dramatic of a difference. The
Yes.
makeup should be highlighting your natural beauty. Do you
Yes, I
agree?
agree. 100%. I 100% agree. And I don't think filters are so incredibly amazing, really, because if you were to see the person in real life, you probably wouldn't even recognize some of these people, right? And you don't want
Mhm.
makeup to overtake you in the same light as that. Makeup, again, like you said, is there to accentuate your beauty. But the best makeup is good skin.
Good skin. What role does being in the sun play? I've you know heard in the past that, well, when I was younger, we just laid out in the sun, didn't even think about it. Forget sunscreen. You got sunburn, that was part of life. Thankfully now, makeups, lotion, everything is including SPF. But does the skin really lead to additional premature aging? Is that a factor outside of the body?
Yes, it 100% is. 80 to 90% of premature aging is caused by the sun. So it's
Oh,
really,
wow.
really important. If you want to prevent aging, your number one thing you're going to do is wear a sunscreen on a daily basis and reapply, especially if you're outside. And sunscreens are kind of a misconception. It's getting better, like you
Mhm.
said, but a misconception is it's for the beach or a lake day or when you're hanging out at the pool. That's the time that you put a sunscreen on, but it really
Mhm.
isn't. It needs to be a daily, every day you wake up, it's part of your regimen and you're putting on a sunscreen.
And so you're saying year round, not just spring and summer, but
Yes.
year round, we should be wearing sunscreen.
Yes, yes. And people think, it's cloudy outside or it's rainy or it's snowing
Right.
or, it's winter. You don't need sunscreen. Or like I have darker skin tone, so I don't need sunscreen. There's so many
Mhm.
factors. Or I have a tan, so I don't need sunscreen. There are just so many
Mhm.
things that people think, oh, I don't need a sunscreen. But it doesn't matter the weather, the conditions, your skin tone, like none of it matters. You need a sunscreen on every single day.
And I'm glad you said that because as you were talking, it made me think about whether it's, microwaves or radio waves or the sun's waves. It's not going to be a seasonal thing. It is
No.
still traveling, traveling
Yes.
through air and reaching your skin. So I'm going to be more cautious about that. I'm afraid that's one of the misconceptions I've had, other than what may be in products that I'm using. What are some other misconceptions people have about skincare?
Skincare in general, I would say a couple of things. One is if you're oily, you don't need a moisturizer, right?
Right.
that so that is also a misconception as far as you do need a moisturizer for sure because you want to add that layer, that protective barrier. You want to keep that layer on your skin and keep it healthy. But you're just going to go for like an oil free or a lighter one. You can
Mhm.
find one. Just make sure that you're wearing something because what happens is if you have if you're harsh environments or pollutants or just washing your face with incorrect products and stuff like that, then you're going to have this layer come off of your skin, which is a protective barrier. And so when you have that happen, your skin is exposed. And so any moisture in the air is going to come out, or is anything from the air is going to come in, anything from the inside can go out. And so it's kind of broken down this protection that you have. And so you're not able to protect it as much. And so you've really got to put that
Okay.
layer of moisturizer on so you have that protection. And then another misconception, kind of along the same lines, is being sensitized instead of sensitive. Everybody thinks they have sensitive skin, but a
Mhm.
lot of times what's happened is they are sensitized. So what they've done is broken down that barrier on your skin. And so your skin is exposed and it's raw. And so everything kind of stings it, everything irritates it, and you
Mm.
think you have sensitive skin. But what you can do is really repair that barrier back and put it back where it needs to
Mhm.
be. And then you will find out some people will still have sensitive skin, but a lot of people will be like, oh, my skin's fine now. Like it was just that part. So there's a couple normal things that people struggle with
Mhm.
and misconceptions as far as skincare goes.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Some of the problems that I've dealt with and that adult friends of mine have dealt with are acne and rosacea. What can be done about those conditions?
Those are trickier just because the rosacea is a condition that you will have. You can definitely keep it under control and manage it. but it's not something you're going to be able to cure. Acne, you definitely can get it under control. Acne is usually something happening in your body, and your body needs to, like, it's trying to, again, talk to you. It's trying to tell you, hey, something's happening. Let's balance me out. And so with acne, there's a lot of great topical treatments that we can do to help while we're figuring out like what's going on internally. And so I think acne is something that people think is just for teenagers, but it's just all ages. I've seen everybody in all ages with acne of some degree. And it's kind of one of those struggles that most people know about, have had, and are so irritated by. Let's be honest. We don't want to be dealing with aging and acne.
Yeah, I hate it. Right. I had it really badly as a teen. Then when I was pregnant, which I guess those were hormonal. And then when I hit my 40s, I started getting these cystic big bump things that were just god awful. I ended up going to a dermatologist, but it really has been a surprise to me as my journey has gone on that I continue to have, some of these challenges, which goes back to what you said. What about as far as that, outer layer of the skin and what's coming from the inside? But what about dermabrasion? There's so many advertisements for that now. People are buying these brushes and they're getting these chemical peels and all of that. Is that okay? Is that good for you? Or what do you think about those techniques?
They can be very good for you, actually. So when you're doing that, we are creating a control wound. And so what happens there is you're creating that wound. And so you're telling your body, hey, let's repair itself. And so it kind of stimulates your collagen and elastin and whatever else is going on in there. And it can be really, really helpful. I only caution is I wouldn't do any of this at home. This is dermabrasion and chemical peels. These are not things to do at home. These are things to have a professional help you with and to tell you, because there's a lot of chemical peels and ingredients in the chemical peels that are not for everybody. And that would be better for, a certain condition, a certain skin tone. Whereas, maybe something else is better for something else. So you have to really make sure who you go to knows what's best for you and your skin tone and your skin type. And then same with microdermabrasion. It's not for everybody as well. And I know there's a lot of home treatments you can get and do.
Right.
But as we talked about before, rosacea, if you have rosacea, you don't want to be doing anything like that on your skin. And if you have like really inflamed pustule acne, you again don't want to do stuff like that. So it really depends on what you're struggling with and your skin. So I would definitely say they are great, great treatments, but make sure you go to a professional.
Gotcha. So don't listen to the TikTok doctors unless they are actually a certified dermatologist.
Be careful with your skin.
That's where a lot of it is coming from with their filters. So get professional help. Seriously, I've seen people because luckily, some people also talk about their bad experiences. And I've seen some people who tried to do these things at home end up with horrible burns and scars and things.
Yeah. So, and that's why I say it can be very dangerous to do it at home, especially, they're coming out with microneedling and stuff like that for home care. And I'm like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. You can have a lot more complications. Just go to a professional if you actually want it done. They're going to be able to do a better treatment anyway, get it deeper, get the right ingredients and products. Just don't do it at home, please.
Don't try this at home, folks.
Yeah,
don't do it at home. Okay. For my boomers, my group, how can we prevent, if it's not too late, it might be too late for me, but how can we prevent premature aging? What are some things we can start doing or continue doing to keep our skin looking as youthful as possible? I'm not trying to look like a 20-year-old. I'm not 20. I'm okay with that. But I want to look as good as possible naturally.
Right. I love that because you don't want to look like a 20-year-old, which I love because you know where you are in life. You know who you are. I love that part.
And I'm comfortable with that.
Yes. And I love it when women find that and they're not trying to achieve that anymore. It's just like, I am who, but I want to be the best who I can be, right? So as far as premature aging, I think really you've got to, it's never too late. Like you said, it's not too late. Don't think it's too late. Sunscreen, number one, sunscreen. Always make sure you're wearing your sunscreen like we previously talked about. And then make sure you've got a moisturizer and you're really hydrating your skin and keeping that moisture in there, keeping that barrier strong. And you're exfoliating once or twice a week. Then make sure you're taking care of yourself internally. And you're eating really good food. You're eating whole foods, real fruits. You're eating your fiber and your fats. And don't be afraid of fats. You really need good fats in your body. All of these things. And I have a resource that people can get that talks a lot about little tiny steps that you can do daily that are going to help your skin overall. And so just small, simple things will make a difference in your life. And it's not about being, starting 10 new habits and trying to keep with them, right? It's just small things with your skin, and every day adding on top makes a big difference for your skin.
And I think I saw those resources on your website. We'll make sure there's a link to those so those people can get more information and connect with you. We're just kind of trying to do a high level thing to get you started and get you thinking about how you're treating your skin and how you can look your best. You talked a little bit about ingredients in products. And that's important to me because I am one of those people who truly is sensitive. Since I was a kid, everything, we got to do the risk test, whether it's soap or I'm serious. I do nothing until it's tested here. That's why I can't wear eyelashes. I can't do the glue. There are things for my hair. So as you said, some people are sensitized, but other people have sensitive skin. Are there things, for example, I know MSG, a preservative, is a common allergen in foods. Codeine is a common allergen in pharmaceutical products. Gluten, latex. Are there some things that, I'm not going to say everybody is allergic to, but are there some things in skincare product that more commonly cause allergic reactions that perhaps we can, make us a little more cautious?
Like you said, it kind of comes down to the individual, but overall, fragrances are the first thing comes to my mind every single time. Really try to avoid fragrances because when you see the word fragrance on there, they can have up to hundreds to thousands of ingredients to make that fragrance. So it's really important to try to stay away from fragrances as much as absolutely possible because you can have a reaction to that and not even know what it was because there's so many in there, right? And then I always try to stay away from mineral oils and things like that are going to not great things for your skin. They just really don't do great things for your skin. They kind of seal your skin in, which we don't want that happening. Those are kind of the few things but definitely fragrances across the boards. And then coming down from there.
There are fragrances in skincare products. I hadn't even noticed that. Really?
There still is. Yeah, there really still is. Make sure if the product has a smell, you want it to be from botanicals or essential oils or something like that. But check the bottom. It'll be usually on one of the last ones next to the preservatives, but they're there a lot of the time, which is sad because it causes so many problems, and it's such a
and we don't need it. I mean, you're gonna put your perfume on and all this other stuff. I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah. So that would be my biggest thing for across the boards. Everybody, just avoid your fragrances. You just don't know what's going on in there.
Gotcha. This just came to me as we're talking about avoid things. For many, many years, as you know, they did animal testing with products overseas and here. And they've shied away from that a bit. But because they're not testing on animals, and you may or may not know this, I told you when we did our pre-call stuff, just comes to me. What do they test on if they're not using animals? I don't want animals harmed, but I wasn't opposed to it because I felt like it needed to be tested some kind of way before you give it to humans. How do they test these products?
You were kind of in the middle, hoping for the best off, but you didn't want to hurt them.
Right.
A lot of times,
and I'm going to leave that alone because I don't want PETA after me. Just saying.
Say no more. Right. No, a lot of times with the skincare products, what they would do is they would use rabbit ears actually and kind of put it in there and see if it would become comedogenic is how they would test it, which is kind of an interesting way. But a lot of the companies are going away from that. And I think we have such a good grasp on what the information that we have previously gotten from that. And so we kind of know, right? Like we know kind of the molecule size and how it's going to interact with our skin and how to process it. So there's ways to process things that are generally comedogenic, but you can refine it to a process that it will work for your skin. It won't cause problems. And so I think we just, with all the information, the technology, I think that's kind of how they're doing it now. We don't need to go, all the way back to the animal stage. So, which is nice.
Okay. Are the ears still on the rabbit? Or are they?
Oh, yes. The rabbit.
Okay. Like, I'm just out. That stays hard. Yes, the rabbit is alive.
The rabbit would have been alive and well. I've never seen it happen. I only know this from schooling. But yes, the rabbit would be alive and happy and just eating carrots.
Okay, I'm picturing all these little rabbits with no ears. It just made me sad. Okay, I just want to clear that up because some people are not linear thinkers like me. So,
the rabbits are fine.
What? Let's talk about your nutrition. You said we need to be hydrated and watch our diets, but are there any food groups that are particularly helpful for hair, skin, and nails?
I really just an overall really good balance because your skin is one of the last organs that receives anything. So you want to make sure that you have enough to sustain your whole body and then get to your skin. And your skin has, for one thing, it's a detoxifying organ. So that's one of its functions. And if you are not having enough fiber, then you're putting heavier load on your skin. And that can come out in acne and flare-ups and rosacea and psoriasis and sort of like rashes and irritations. And so you really want to be eating pretty much all the food groups. So making sure you've got your fiber and your fruits and vegetables. So you get all of those vitamins and minerals and you're getting all those antioxidants. You want to get your fats in there because your skin, the layer on your skin, your barrier protection is made up of lipids. It's made up of fats. And if you don't have enough for your body, then it's going to have a real struggle putting it on your skin, right? And then proteins, no matter your eating style, get some good proteins in there because your body is made up of protein and water. And so you've really got to put back in there. And then, of course, your waters. You want to make sure you're drinking a lot of water to make sure you're hydrating internally and for your skin.
Gotcha. What about, I'm going to jump back to misconceptions. When I was a teen and I mentioned that I had really severe acne, my pictures from 7th to 9th grade are hidden. I never gave any to grandma or anybody because it was bad. But my parents were under the belief that it was sweets because I like Snickers. I didn't consume them all day long, but they were like, if you quit eating sweets, your skin would clear up. And so I'd stop eating my Snickers or Slurpees or whatever, and I'd look exactly the same. So is there any truth to sweets? I know bacteria is a factor. Is there any truth to sweets contributing to acne or breakouts?
As far as acne goes, it's very individual. I will say that and each food group for acne is individual. So if you notice for you, dairy is a trigger, then, you're going to avoid that. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's a trigger overall for everybody, just like sweets. So I think that a moderate amount of sweets is not going to make your skin flare up. But I have noticed with acne patients, like after Christmas holidays or Halloween or something where they've just really, they generally eat healthy and then they just really indulge in the candy, there will be a breakout, like a flare up. I have seen that for sure. Okay. So it is individual, but I think an excessive amount of any type of processed food is going to cause a flare up, is going to cause problems. And if that's the lifestyle, the diet, then you're not going to notice a flare up because it's going to be a constant thing, right?
I understand. My mother's just smiling right now. She listens to and watches all my programs. And once again, she is right. She's always right. But Mama's just thought I'd throw it out there. So thank you for that. Let's talk about, we've talked about these individual factors, ingredients, allergens, and so forth. What is a good basic skincare regimen? I understood that we need to do sunscreen, but in addition to that, as far as cleaning or drying or whatever it is, what are some things we need to be doing consistently?
So overall, I mean, everybody's going to be very individual as far as what types of products and what type of ingredients in the products. But overall, what you're going to do is you're going to have a cleanse, you're going to exfoliate, moisturizer, and sunscreen. And when you do cleanse, you're going to do once in the morning and cleanse, rinse your face with tepid water, pat it dry, and then you're going to move to your next step. At night, you're going to do a double cleanse. And the reason is you want to get all the makeup, all the debris, the pollutants, anything in the air. And anytime you touched your face, if you have pets and you've pet them and putting it on your face, anything like that, we want to get off of the skin. And then your second cleanse, you want to really get into the skin, really into those pores and clean out those pores and really be able to, hopefully the cleanser that you have is going to help deliver a lot of good ingredients to the skin as well. So at night, you're double cleansing, and then you're going to rinse with tepid water, pat it dry, and move to the next step. Now, once or twice a week, you're going to exfoliate. Now, again, this really, really depends on the person's skin, what they're trying to treat, the type of exfoliator they have. So there's a lot of factors that come into play there. And then you're going to moisturize morning and night, and then you're going to sunscreen in the morning and then reapply throughout the day, of course.
I was just saying, I think a lot of us are always pretty good with the morning routine as far as cleansing, but with bed, especially when you're tired, there were times when I just went to bed with makeup on and things like that. And I think that's not very good for your pores. And the idea of a second cleansing, that makes a lot of sense. And I like the examples that you gave for that, Natalie. Thank you so much. How can, going forward, I know you've got some resources on your website. How can listeners connect with you online to get more information, your website, social media, and so forth? Share that with us, please.
Oh, you bet. So I am on Instagram, I'm at The Fordham Beauty. And then my free resource is the lp.fordhambeauty.com. And that'll just give you really simple guides. You don't even need to purchase anything. It will just give you 5 simple things to do in the morning and 5 simple things to do at night. And some of them you probably are already doing. I'm just going to help you kind of tweak it. So it's going to really help your skin all that much more. And then they can, if you want to get in touch with me, that'll put you into my newsletter. You can email me back or just send me a message on Instagram and I'm happy to help you.
Fantastic, folks. She's easy to find and she's offering great information here today, free resources on her website. So please connect with Natalie to learn more. And please join me again next week for another fun, empowering episode. Thank you.
Wasn't that a great program? Oh, love that episode. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Learn more about me on my website, drmoanderson.com. That's MOE. You can read book excerpts, watch videos, learn about my services that I offer, and book me for a speaking engagement. I'd love to talk with your group, and I'd love to work with you. So until the next time, review, renew, and renew. Thank you.